The Tale of Anara and Velina. Once upon a time, in a quiet village by the mountains, lived two sisters named Anara and Velina. They shared a small wooden house surrounded by flower fields. Anara was kind and hard-working. She woke up early every morning to sweep the floors, cook warm meals, and tend to the garden. She loved helping the villagers by bringing them bread or caring for sick animals. Velina, however, was lazy and proud. She spent her days gazing at her reflection in the lake, brushing her long golden hair and whispering, "I am far more beautiful than Anara. Why should I waste my time with chores?" Their parents had passed away long ago, and Anara worked hard to keep the house warm and full of food. Velina, on the other hand, cared only about herself. The old woman in the forest. One spring morning, Velina went wandering through the forest. She picked flowers carelessly, breaking stems and tossing them away. Soon she saw an old woman sitting on a rock. "Dear child," the woman said softly, "I am weak and hungry. Could you give me some food or water?" Velina wrinkled her nose. "I don't have time for beggars. But here, take these bitter berries if you like. They are delicious," she lied, handing the woman sour, unripe fruit. The old woman winced as she ate, but still whispered, "Thank you." Velina laughed and hurried back home, proud of her trick. Later that evening, Anara went to gather herbs. She found the same old woman shivering under a tree. "Oh dear," Anara cried, "you are sick." Without hesitation, she carried the woman home, gave her hot soup, and tucked her into her own bed. Velina scowled. "Why bring this smelly stranger here? She'll only cause trouble." But Anara ignored her and spent days nursing the woman back to health with teas, herbs, and kindness. The secret gift. When the old woman recovered, she smiled at Anara and said, "Your kindness has healed me. Take these enchanted pomegranate seeds. If you ever fall ill, eat one and you will regain your strength." Velina overheard this, and her eyes glittered with greed. The test of kindness. Months later, Anara became weak from overwork. She asked Velina, "Please, sister, give me the pomegranate seeds the woman gave me." Velina lied. "There are none left. Maybe the birds ate them." In truth, she had hidden them and eaten them all herself, hoping to grow even more beautiful. Anara grew pale and weak while Velina preened by the lake. One day the old woman returned, but this time she revealed her true form. She was a fairy in disguise, with silver hair that glowed like the moon. "Where is your sister Anara?" she asked Velina. Velina smirked. "Out in the forest, working as always. Why do you care?" The fairy went into the cottage and found Anara shivering and pale. She wept and said, "Such kindness should not suffer." She fed Anara a glowing pomegranate seed, and instantly Anara's strength returned. The punishment and the reward. Velina peeked through the window, laughing at the scene. "Fairy, if you can heal her, then grant me the most beautiful face in the world." The fairy looked at her sternly. "I gave you many chances to show kindness. Instead, you were selfish and cruel." With a wave of her wand, Velina's golden hair turned into dry thorns, and her reflection in the lake showed a face twisted with pride. Velina screamed, "No, my beauty!" She ran to the lake to look at herself, but the thorny hair tangled into the mud, trapping her. Meanwhile, the fairy touched Anara's hands, and the little cottage turned into a shining cottage filled with warmth, food, and flowers blooming at every window. But Anara cried, "What is the use of this home if my sister suffers? Please, fairy, give her another chance. I cannot be happy without her." The fairy's eyes softened. "Your heart is pure, Anara." She waved her wand again, and Velina's thorns turned back into golden hair. Velina collapsed into Anara's arms, sobbing, "Sister, forgive me. I was blind with pride. From now on, I will share your work and your kindness." happily ever after. From that day forward, the sisters lived in peace. Anara still worked hard, but now Velina helped her, and together they tended the garden, shared food with neighbours, and filled their home with laughter. And whenever Velina looked into the lake, she no longer whispered, "I am more beautiful than my sister." Instead, she said, "True beauty lives in kindness." Moral: kindness brings blessings, while selfishness brings sorrow. True beauty shines from a good heart.